Hey y'all. Alright, we are making this cabbage casserole, which I think we're going to call this a cabbage skillet because I don't think I'm going to toss it in the oven. The way that I have thought up that I want to do it, I don't really think we need to put it in the oven, but you certainly can. You'll see what I'm talking about. And you can kind of change it however you want to fit your needs, okay? So let me show you what I got going here. I have my hamburger. Here, y'all know that I had some left from last night. This is about a pound. It may be a little bit over, but I think it's about right at a pound. And then I had about half a pound, y'all, of that left that I stashed in the freezer. Y'all know I love to do that whenever I want something quick and easy and simple. I got that little bit of ground beef in there for whatever I need, whether I want to make me a little taco salad or whatever it may be. Okay? Now, since I have some bell pepper, some garlic, and some onion here. I have about 4 cloves of garlic, but they were small cloves. You could easily do 2 big ones. What was I saying? I was going to tell y'all something. Hang on, man. This is... now, if I were using like a ground beef that was real fatty and I drained this, what I would do, y'all, is drain it, cook these in here for a minute, and then put it back in. But since I wasn't putting it through a strainer, I just left it all in this skillet. No sense in messing up a strainer. We'll just do it all in here, okay? So we're going to cook this around. Our ground beef, our peppers, our onions, our garlic. And I guess I'm going to go ahead. I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and add a little bit of seasoning and tell you while we're at it. That'd be good. Okay, so let me show you what I'm going to add to mine. Of course, I know we got onion and garlic in here, but we're going to add some powder too. We got to do that, right? All right, onion powder. Set that aside. Some garlic powder. Okay, I'm going to do just a little bit of crushed red pepper. Not too much. I'm thinking maybe just like a 1/4 of a teaspoon, if that. Just toss in. You can leave that out if you don't like the spice. Okay. We're going to do some smoked paprika. We're going to do some regular paprika, which I'm about out of that. There's a little of that in. Okay. And for my cabbage casserole, I like to do a little bit of chili powder. Not much. Just a little sprinkle, y'all. About like that. Okay. Let's mix this around for a second. And then we still got some more stuff we're going to add. We're going to make this very flavorful. Okay. Let's see. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of pepper. I'm not going to add any salt because I have something else I'm going to add here in a minute and I'll show y'all. But we're going to add a little bit of pepper in. Just a little pinch. And then I am going to add a little bit of this Italian seasoning. Y'all know I love these little packets, okay? If you don't have this, you could certainly just add you a little bit of your just regular Italian seasoning in the container. But I choose this so much more, and y'all know that. I measured this out earlier so I would know exactly how much to tell y'all that I had left in here. This is just a pack I had left. I have 1/2 tablespoon. Okay, so if you buy a pack and you want to know how much to use, measure you out 1/2 tablespoon, okay? It adds a great flavor, and remember, this has a little bit of sugar in it too. So that helps balance out with our tomatoes and stuff that we're going to add in here. Okay, I love the flavor of that so much better than the regular Italian seasoning in the bottle. To me, that seasoning is very bitter. I do use it sometimes, but it's not my favorite. Y'all know I love that, those little packets, okay? So 1/2 tablespoon of that. Okay, now we're going to do some W sauce. Alright. Splash this around in there. Just be generous with it, y'all. Okay. Now I'm going to do 1 beef bouillon cube. Okay. Got that pepper under my fingernail. Alright, so 1 beef bouillon cube. All right, I'm gonna toss that around. Y'all, this is gonna be delicious. Y'all know I told you last night I had to think on it how I wanted to make it. Well, when I get to thinking on a recipe, I can't stop until I think I have it just how I want to have it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get us just a tiny bit of water to put in here. Not much, just a little bit to help all those seasoning cook, that beef bouillon. I'll be right back. Alright y'all, so I got my little bit of water here that I'm going to put in, but I got ahead of myself. Before I do that, I want to put in some of our tomato paste, alright? So I'm going to do, I'm thinking, not this whole container, this is 6 ounces. So that is probably about 4 ounces of this. And then I'll freeze the rest because y'all showed me how. Alright, so I'm going to put that in, mix that down in our beef. Cook that around a little bit, and then we will add our water and our diced tomatoes. Now I debated on putting tomato sauce in here, but I think I'm just going to stick with tomato paste and a can of diced tomatoes. But of course, you know, you use whatever kind of tomatoes you have, whatever you like. That's just what I decided on, okay? And I'm going to turn my water on back here for our rice. I'm going to cook it, pre-cook it about halfway. Y'all know how I like to do that. And then we will mix it in. And then over here, I'm going to do my cabbage a little bit before we put it in here. All right, so here I have about a 1/4 cup of water. I need to try to get that off that spoon. Let's see here. Okay. I just chose to not do the tomato sauce just because I don't like for it to be just a real thick, saucy texture. We may end up needing to add something else or more water, but for right now, I'm just going to stick with that, okay? All right, 1 can of diced tomatoes. This is the regular can, 14.5 ounces. I'll run a little bit of water in this. That'll give us a little bit more liquid. Hang on. Okay, that was probably about 1/4 of a cup. So we did a 1/4 and then a little 1/4, so you might as well say about 1/2 cup of water that we have put in there. But you can see it's still really thick. You got that tomato paste and everything in there. So now what I'm going to do, y'all, is just let this slow cook. I want this to just simmer and slow cook. Let all those flavors combine. I may add a little bit more water. Let's see, let me think for a second. We got our cabbage, all that. I think I will. All right, so we did 1/2 cup. Let me go ahead and get another 1/2 cup to toss in here. Okay, so 1/2 cup of water. Now remember, we put that beef bouillon cube in there. So this would be the same as adding 1 cup of beef broth, basically. So just remember that if you want to just do the broth, you can. Or you can do the bouillon in the water like we just did, okay? All right, so I'm going to let that hang out. I'm going to let my water come up to a boil back here for my rice. I'm doing a minute rice, so all we'll have to do is toss that in. Let me tell you about my rice, y'all. So as you can see here, I didn't quite have a cup of my white minute rice, but I did have some minute brown rice, so it worked out. Y'all know I love to finish off things that I have. So, I finished it off with the brown rice. And so what I'm going to do, you know, with your minute rice, you do a 1:1 ratio, water, rice. Since I don't want to cook this completely, since we're going to put it in here and it's going to cook another minute or two, what I like to do is I did a good heaping cup of rice, and then instead of a whole cup of water, I did about 3/4 of a cup. That way it's once it absorbs all that liquid, then it doesn't have any more and it's going to stop. So that's what I'm going to do. And so once this comes up to a boil, I'm just going to toss this in, turn the burner off, put the lid on it, and just let it hang out until we're ready to mix it in with our dish. So I'm going to get this going, y'all, kind of clean up. Now I'll come back and we're going to get our cabbage going. Okay, y'all, I just swapped burners here. We've got our meat sauce over here cooking, our little meat mixture, whatever. And over here, we're going to do our cabbage. I have a couple tablespoons of bacon grease in here. So now I'm going to toss in our cabbage. Ooh, I know it looks like a lot, but y'all know it cooks way down. Okay. And And I wanted to tell y'all, since I ended up adding a whole cup of water into our little mixture here, I know it will probably dilute it a little bit, so I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt. Remember, I wasn't going to because we were adding the bouillon, but adding that much water, I think we'll need a little bit of salt. So, just a couple sprinkles of salt in there. I'll mix that up in a minute. And now what I like to do, I'm just going to cook this cabbage up kind of like I would cook it if I were just making fried cabbage. Alright? That way, whenever we put this in our mixture here, it is going to be so good and seasoned and flavored up. Now, you don't have to do it this way. You can certainly, I love more than anything to have a big one-pot meal and throw everything in there or in the crock pot. You can certainly do it that way. This is just the way that I decided I wanted to do it. Little things like this is just going to really, really enhance your flavor if you have the time to do it. If you don't, then that's okay. But on a day, whenever you have time to do this, I want you to try it. I think you'll love it. We will see. But I'm not going to cook this all the way. I just want to cook it and get some good flavors in that cabbage. And I'm going to let these good flavors hang out. Then we've got our rice and flavors. You know, I like to season every single thing. And we're just going to leave it all in this skillet once we get it all put together. And then we're just going to put some cheese over the top of it. And it's going to be like a little unstuffed cabbage skillet or whatever. Okay? So I'm going to let this get to cooking a little bit. And then we're going to season this cabbage up, y'all. And I think this is going to be a delicious little cabbage dish if you love cabbage. Alright, y'all, our cabbage is cooked down just a little bit to where we can kind of toss it around and work with it. And so now we're going to add our seasonings in. Okay, so the first thing, let's do some pepper. Got to have that pepper. And a little bit of salt. So that's why I say go light on your seasonings over here, because we're also seasoning this, okay? Alright. And then y'all know, a little bit of my Creole. This is, like I said, I'm doing this basically like I would do if I were doing just a good fried cabbage. This is all the stuff that I would add. Garlic powder. Just lightly, just a light sprinkle. Onion powder. Okay, let's see. Smoked paprika. Alright. A little pinch of sugar. And this will also come in handy over here because we have our tomatoes, okay? So just a little pinch, not that much. Now, let me toss this around a minute before we get anything else. That way they can get on there really good. Y'all. It's going to be good, good. Okay. I'm going to do just a little cap full of apple cider vinegar. The little capful just works out great. It works out for a good little measurement. Alright, and then I have my little chicken bouillon here. And I think for this I'm going to do about half a teaspoon. About like that. Just sprinkle that over. Well, maybe a little bit more. Just like that. Okay. And that's it, y'all. I know it sounds like a lot, but y'all have already got these spices in your cabinet. It's all the stuff you already have. And I'm just going to let this cook down for just a little bit. And I've got this cooking, and then we're going to mix it all together, put some cheese on top, and that will be it. And we will see how we did on our little recipe here. Our rice is good. I've just got it sitting back here. See, this is how it looks. And I'm not going to mix it yet. I just let it sit like that. I put a little parsley in there. Some bouillon for flavor. And the water. Y'all know, always season your water a little bit with something. Whatever you want. And this is cooking up just fine. I'm going to give it a mix here in a minute. And then we're going to throw it all together. And it will be great. All right, y'all, let's get all this mixed together and top it off with our cheese. Look at our cabbage, y'all. Don't that look good? It's not overcooked. It still has some crunch to it, if you can tell by looking at the color of it. It's just sauteed and fried up really good. I didn't add any liquid. You can if you want to. If you want a softer cabbage, I mostly was going for like a sauteed fried cabbage type deal. So I kept it up on a pretty high temperature and just kind of let it fry around in the skillet. And I just kept tossing it. You kind of have to stand over it if you want to go that route. But it's worth it. Okay. Let's see here. Let's mix that in. Oh, goodness. And this little meat mixture, y'all, smells so good. It reminds me of something, but I can't think of what it is. Let me see. Can y'all see good? All right. So see, we still have a little bit of liquid left in there, which is what I wanted because that rice is going to absorb some of our liquid, so we don't want to get it too thick. I think that's perfect. Okay. Now we have our rice here. I haven't touched it yet. So here it is. We're going to fluff it up a little bit. See that? Like you can tell, it's not overly done. It still has some leeway of cooking left in it. And I don't know we're going to add all of this, because we don't want to overcrowd this. So let's see. So remember, we did a heaping cup of rice, and it makes this much, y'all. Y'all remember, it like doubles and triples on us. All right, let's stop right there. And let's see where we're at. I think that's going to be plenty. Because if we add much more, we're going to get it too thick. We don't want it too thick. We'll have to add some liquid to it if we do that. Yep, I think that is perfect. So you could probably get away with doing about a 3/4 cup of rice, because like I said, I did a cup and we still have this much left. I did a heaping cup, but yeah, that looks good, just like that. And it smells amazing. Okay, y'all, let me grab my cheese. Like I said, I'm not even going to toss this in the oven to cook together. I think it will be just fine like this. I'm going to top it off with some cheese and just let it sit here and simmer for a few minutes, and we're going to call it a meal. Okay? All right, so in my cheese here, I grated up some of my cheddar that I had, and then I had some mozzarella in the fridge in a bag that I needed to use up. So I tossed that in there with it, mixed it in so I could use it up. Okay. And again, if you want to put it in a casserole dish and cook it in the oven for a little bit, you certainly can, but I don't think it needs it since how we cooked everything already. I think it would be just fine without it, but you do it however you want. Make it your own recipe. Okay. Y'all know I'm going to throw a little parsley on top. I don't have it out. Let me grab it. Let's see. I hope I can find it real quick. Let's see. There it is. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I should have already had that out. Okay. I'm going to put this over. I'm going to put this on just a very low temperature. Let this sit here and hang out. That rice will finish cooking. Let all those mixtures, or all those spices and seasons and everything join together really good. I'm going to pop a lid on it, and I'm going to clean up my mess, and I'll come back and we'll try this, what are we calling it? Unstuffed Cabbage Skillet. All right, y'all, let's check our little dish here. Look at this. It's got nice and bubbly. It's just bubbling up through there, and now we're going to try. Well, I'm going to get some out, and then we'll have to wait a minute before I try it, because I know it is piping hot. Okay. So let's see. Let's get us a little bit out. I don't know if this is the best spoon to use or not. Let's try to get a different one. One that we can get down in there and get some out with. Let's see. Ooh, look at that, y'all. Does that look good? I think this is a perfect dish if you're a cabbage lover. I think cabbage is one of those things you either love it or you don't. It's just, there's really no in between. I'm gonna pop that lid back in there. Go ahead and turn that off. Look at that, y'all. I'm loving using my little dishes here for whenever I have like a one pot deal. These little dishes work out perfectly, but look at that. Don't that look good, y'all? Okay, I'm going to just let this cool for a second, and I'll come back and we'll do a taste test. Okay, y'all, let's try this little, look at that. Don't that look so good? Our little cabbage dish. That's what we're going to call it, cabbage dish, because I keep confusing myself on what I want to call it. So we're going to do cabbage dish. It smells amazing, y'all. It looks good. Let's see here how we got it. And I didn't change clothes, y'all. I just, I had just put the apron on over my tank top while I was cooking, and then me and Belle were fixing to leave, and so then I put my sweatshirt on that I was planning on wearing, but I knew I'd get too hot trying to cook in it. I have to have my hair up, and like people that get all fixed up to cook and do videos, and they have on all these nice clothes and their hair all fixed up, like I don't know how they do it, because I certainly cannot do that. I have to be just in my normal. And that may be their normal, but it's not for me. Oh, that is good, y'all. That flavor is so, so good. Y'all will love this if you love cabbage. Nope. That is absolutely perfect, if I must say so myself. It is delicious. That cabbage is so flavorful, and our little sauce mixture is so flavorful because remember we let it sit there and simmer and cook for a while, and then the rice is flavored up. Like everything is flavored up, so how can it not be good, right? Like it is delicious, y'all. This was a good choice to make. I'm glad y'all told me that you wanted to see this, because this was a very good choice to make. This is something I've not made in so long. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I made this, but this is delicious. Okay. I have kept y'all long enough. There's a Belle over there. We're fixing to go bye-bye, and she knows it. So she's excited. Anyway, I hope y'all try this. I hope you love it. And I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.